to Julie in Detroit, Michigan, watching on YouTube Live. Julie, thank you for joining us. Your question for Father.
Good evening, and thank you for taking my call.
My pleasure.
I have a question. Go ahead. I apologize.
No, please.
It's all you, Julie.
It's all you.
We were just welcoming you, so
yes.
you're go right ahead.
Sorry. My heart is very much towards the addict and those that are in the throes of addiction, whatever type of addiction it is. What do you believe would be the best avenue to work towards helping those individuals and also bringing them into the Catholic Church, as well as hopefully getting them free from that addiction?
Yeah.
Well, that's a big question. Number one, I think, is to really keep them from despair and show them that God loves them even in the throes of their addiction, and that ultimately, I mean, really, with some addictions, ultimately it is God's grace that's going to get them out of it. To really be there for them in that way. If there are addicts with faith already, to really push that point home is that God still loves them as they struggle with their addiction. That their struggle is precisely in the cross. I think recently I learned of a martyr actually recognized in China. I forget his name. His name always escapes me. But he himself was a doctor. He became an opium addict.
I've heard this story.
Yeah,
share it.
So he became an opium addict, and would go to confession for his addiction, and then over time, eventually, his confessor, for whatever reason, determined that he wasn't of a proper disposition to be absolved. He couldn't absolve him because he didn't think he was really sorry for his addiction, which of course he was. So he said, until you get over this, I can't absolve you. And so he took that, and he never stopped going to Mass. He went to Mass, and his prayer eventually became, God, make me a martyr, because I fear that that's the only way I'm going to be able to save my soul. And then, not too long after that, the Boxer Rebellion broke out in China. It was a big thing against all things foreign in China, and the church was seen as an agent of that. And so he was gathered up with a bunch of Christians and taken to be beheaded. Yes, so I'm probably going to butcher his Chinese name, but we just pulled it up here. Saint Mark Ji Chanxing is his name, so you can look him up.
Way better than I was going to do.
So
I think you kind of nailed that.
I don't know. We'll find out if anyone calls to complain. If there's any Chinese listeners out there, call us and tell us how it's actually pronounced. But so eventually he was martyred, and he determined, God gave him the strength and faith that even though, in spite of his addiction, because he wasn't happy about his addiction, he was given the grace to be the last one in his family to be martyred. He wanted to be the last one so that no one in his family had to die alone. And so he encouraged them all through their martyrdom, and then himself was martyred, and he was declared a saint for that. So the biggest thing, too, is while they're struggling with their addiction, remind them that as long as they want the good, as long as they don't want their addiction, they're not giving into their addiction with their will, and they're struggling against it, God is very much with them. God is very much giving them the grace to pull away. And some addictions, a lot of addictions actually, require treatment too. It's not a question of just if my will is strong enough, I'm going to get away from it. Some of them are very real physical addictions, very real emotional addictions. And so to just encourage them to get the help that they need and to know that in their addiction, God is not abandoning them.
This is one of those things where those of us who are judgmental, just got to stop. Just got to stop, because what do we know about it? I mean, there are saints who are addicts. Deal with that.
Absolutely. And it's not because, the thing to remember, it's not because of their addiction, but because where their will was in it, what they wanted, what they were seeking was holiness, and they found themselves in a bad way. And God still gave them the grace to be holy, even at least in their last moment.